You're watching FNN, the FUKK News Network.
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers.
Yeah. Well, what's in it for me? Oh. Well, that's a horse of a different color. I'll be right there.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Baby, it's SHMACKEMAGOB. Oh, baby. I'm walking to the city. Let's just say SHMACKEMAGOB.
SHMACKEMAGOB, it's time for the only news that matters, and I want to thank Junebug Films for that SHMACKEMAGOB intro. What a cute kitty. And I'm going to do something like an inside thing for all the cool people that show up in the chat for the premiere of the news that only matters. Meow, 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 meow. You all know what I mean. Anyway, thanks again, Junebug Films. And if you want to send a SHMACKEMAGOB intro, send it to this email right here and I will put it up in the order it was received. All right. Now, let's get into the only news that matters. And starting it off with some horrible news. Led Zeppelin's tour manager, Richard Cole, has passed away at the age of 75. This is really sad news. I own the book he released, Stairway to Heaven, and it's amazing. If you're a Zeppelin fan, you haven't read it, you need to change that. Very sad news. The man was legendary. Rest in peace, Richard Cole. Next story. Sharon Osbourne blasts tabloids for humiliating her daughter during a particularly bad year. On November 30th, Kelly shared a screenshot on Instagram of what appeared to be an email from National Enquirer that asked for her to comment on the upcoming story, which said that Sharon and Ozzy's daughter has been dealing with stress of her relapse by eating. Though I do find it weak when somebody makes fun of somebody's weight. But you know, this is Kelly Osbourne we're talking about. Remember when she said this?
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump? Oh.
And her mother ain't no picnic either. She got all pissed and took to the press to say to them, how dare you make fun of my daughter's appearance, and shame on you. Ah, Sharon Osbourne, yeah. This is the same woman that said this about the people that sing to her on that stupid show she was on that was a ripoff of American Idol. This is what she had to say about them.
Because they're making it like it's just the voice. Everything that matters is the voice. Well, hold on here. That's great when you're butt ugly and you're like 9,000 pounds. What the are we going to do with you? Oh, for God's sake, I'm seeing some guy that looks like Meatloaf's offspring throwing himself around on stage on some bloody talent show, and everybody's going, ah, you rock, you rock. It's like, oh, shut up, love. Send him home.
Right.
He's crap.
Oh, shame on you, you hypocritical, evil witch. Next story. In a new interview with the Rock Experience with Michael Brune, Carmine Appice addresses the possibility of Kiss one day existing without Stanley and Simmons, saying, I respect Gene for what he's talking about when he's saying he's going to get new guys to play in Kiss, to keep it going like a baseball team. I'm not a fanatic Kiss fan, but think about it. 40 years ago, there was a whole different New York Yankees, and people are still fans, so why not be a band that wears makeup that's going to look like the characters forever? I see Alice Cooper doing that too. I see you're going senile. Alice Cooper would never do that. When Alice Cooper was opening for that sham Motley Crue farewell tour, they asked him if he was ever going to retire, and he was like, fuck that. I'm never going to retire. I'm paraphrasing. I don't think he said fuck that. No way is there going to be an Alice Cooper without Vincent Fournier. And I said it before too, there's no way Kiss is going to go on without Gene and Paul. no matter how much Gene and Paul says it's going to happen. Like 5 years ago, Paul Stanley of Kiss spoke about how he would go finding someone to replace him in Kiss. He said, honestly, I think all Kiss tribute bands are great, but none of them have a good Paul. So I like to see somebody who incorporates what I've done with a lot of things that inspire me. And it's not a matter of a puppet being me. It's somebody who could come in and contribute and add something new to it while still following the template that's been set. The template. I find it hard to believe any of those Pauls in those Kiss tribute bands is as bad as this.
Oh, shut up.
All right, next story. Tony Iommi is waiting for the Born Again master tapes so he can remix the album. He said, I'd love to get that one sounding right. I remember when they first found the tapes not too long ago, and he said, hey, I might remix it. But he didn't say it was for sure. Well, now it's for sure. And I'm excited, even though I really have no problem with how it sounds. I know many of you do, but I like the murky, grungy sound of Born Again. That to me, it's fine as it is. But hey, if Tony wants to fix it up, I'm gonna buy it. So bring it on. And you know, I changed my mind a lot here and there. And for years, Heaven and Hell has been my favorite Sabbath album that didn't feature the original lineup. Now it's Born Again. I don't know. There's something so awesome about the album Born Again. I think it's the best thing they've done since the 70s. It's a masterpiece. Next story. Former Motley Crue singer John Corabi admitted he was insulted by how he was portrayed in the band's 2019 biopic, The Dirt. He saw that scene of the band going into the gymnasium to play to like 8 people. Said, man, the Motley Crue tour that I was part of didn't do great business, but no way it was near that bad. And he just didn't like the way he was portrayed in that bio bullshit pic. And I totally agree with him. The 10 seconds that they featured him in the movie, the guy that played John Corabi seemed like a dork. Anybody would be insulted if they were portrayed like that in a movie. In related news, Motley Crue sold their music for $150 million. Some say it was a little less, but either way, I gotta say, that is a smart move. Look, I know there's a lot of Motley Crue fans out there with rose-colored glasses that doesn't see the big picture. Motley Crue in the 80s were huge, one of the biggest bands of the 80s, and money was pouring in from all directions, mainly from record sales. And nobody is buying records anymore. I think this is a very smart move for Nikki Sixx, really, because he's going to get the most of the money since he wrote most of the songs. So hopefully now BMG, the company that bought all the music, will release the '94 album on vinyl, which hasn't been reissued, but all the others have. And I think that has to do with Nikki Sixx hating the album, even though when it first came out, he said it was their physical graffiti. And I heard in the contract, the company told Motley Crue, we're going to buy all your music, but don't you dare put that stupid song Tommy Lee wrote about his son Brandon. You can keep that bullshit. Remember a couple of years ago, Brandon beat up Tommy Lee? And I heard the reason that he beat him up is because he put his name on that stupid ass song. All right, final story. David Lee Roth shares his new artwork, including Big Wave and Dark Ocean. What the hell is this crap? Look, I'm not one of these art connoisseurs, all this scribbly, painty, goopily gook that I know people pay big prices for. It's just some weird ass shit to me. He calls this painting fried chicken. What the hell, man? I think he's fried. Yes, I love David Lee Roth, but I'm not one of these sheep that's gonna love everything this guy does. Like Black Sabbath is my favorite band, but what they did to Bill Ward, how they just sat back and didn't do nothing about the way he was treated, I named them Sabbath for that move. As you all know, Paul Stanley of KISS is also a painter, but what many of you don't know is that he was a huge fan of the Beatles when I was in the band before they kicked me out because I refused to grow a mustache. But he loved it so much that he did this painting of me. But then he saw me talking about him on YouTube and he updated that portrait. So I'm thinking, man, maybe I should do some scribbly goobly goop stuff. Maybe I can make some money off it. So I drew this. I titled this one, Sammy Hagar and Paul Stanley of KISS live rent-free in my head. And you notice I put some squiggly lines in it to make it all artsy-fartsy. I think it came out great. I figure I'll fetch about 2 to 3 million off this. So let the biddings begin. That's it for the news, my friends. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, Tim Breen, for making these portraits of Paul Stanley drawing me. And I really appreciate it, man. And please subscribe to my channel if you have not, and press that little bell for notifications. And if you'd like to donate, I got a PayPal in the description below. And check out my podcast, the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast and the VIERA Vault. And something that I forgot to mention earlier in this show is Sammy Hagar sucks. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and SHMACKEMAGOB.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain.